On this Valentine's Day, many of us think about love and marriage.
That's right, but what truly makes a relationship last? So what are those secrets? Megan Healy went searching for advice from the experts.
These are letters that I wrote when I was working in England and on the continent.
Alma Bob has been a widow for more than 30 years, but when she talks about her late husband, you'd never know.
So I was writing to him just about where I was working, summer in Monte Carlo, summer in Budapest, summer in London.
At nearly 100 years old, Alma has always had a lust for life and love. She met her husband Jim 7 years before she agreed to marry him.
That was our wedding.
And says her time spent away dancing on vaudeville helped her realize where she truly belonged, in Hershey with the love of her life.
He was very special, and I still miss him.
You might call this the triumph of hope over experience.
Dr. Karl Pillemer, a gerontologist at Cornell University, says people like Alma are walking encyclopedias on love and marriage. So he's using their advice to spread the good, the bad, and the downright ugly truths of relationships.
It wasn't all like some of the young people today, all sex, have sex. No, it wasn't. We respected one another.
By interviewing seniors all over the U.S. Today, he's at Country Meadows of Hershey.
We're trying to convey the idea that it's lessons for loving from the people I call the wisest Americans, who are the oldest Americans.
Pillemer used that idea to help write his first book, 30 Lessons for Living, talking to thousands of older people about their life successes and biggest regrets. He says this project was inspired by questions that popped up from the book.
Lots of young people said, you know, what I'd really like to know more about is how do people stay married for 60 or 70 years happily? And so they'd really like guidance.
Guidance that may surprise you.
I might get some flack from that, but not to just marry the first man came along for a woman just because she wants children badly.
And things that make perfect sense, but so often don't happen.
There are different experiences before you marry to see what kind of person they are, if they stand up to responsibility.
Alma says she hopes her marriage advice isn't outdated.
I'm sure that young people today have different questions.
Pillemer says while that may be true with specifics, when it comes to the big picture, a 99-year-old like Alma is just perfect.
So I think really that a lot of us are hungry for more positive images of aging, and this is really one way to get it. You know, you can see beyond, oh, that just looks like an old person who doesn't seem useful to me, if you start asking them for their advice about living.
Now, the biggest theme among the seniors Megan spoke with, don't ever go to bed angry. Instead, say you're sorry, even if you know you're right.
All right, and the doctor's book called Lessons for Loving is expected out in the fall of 2014.